Okay, welcome to Texas. Just a few reminders for media members. If we could silence all our cell phones. For those in the room, raise your hand when we get to a time of Q&A, and we'll get the microphones to you. For those on Zoom, you can use your raise hand function, and we'll get to those time permitting. And a reminder of our format, we'll have an opening statement here from Coach Shafer, followed by questions for our student athletes. At that point, we'll excuse the student athletes, and we'll take more questions for Coach Shafer. So with that said, Coach Shafer, you have an opening statement. Go right ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations to Stanford and their team. They certainly played hard today and they did enough things to beat us, and that's what great teams do. And so we'll tip our hats to them. I think everybody saw how hard the University of Texas played today. We're going to give God the glory for 29-7. You got to praise Him in victory, and you got to praise Him in defeat. I couldn't be more proud of my team, these young ladies, how hard they played today, as they have all year long. I'm certainly disappointed that we lost, but I am not disappointed in them. They have been an absolute joy to coach. They play the game the right way. They honor the game. They respect the game. And I think everybody across the country today saw just exactly what the University of Texas and Texas Fight and women's basketball is all about. And we're just starting. We played a great team today. Again, tell me the last time somebody's played the defending national champions twice in a season. And these kids did it again today, guarded them, defended them at a high level. We had a hard time scoring. We had a bad fourth quarter scoring the basketball. And other than that, we left everything we had out on the floor. These kids have made me a better coach. I'm so honored and privileged to have had the opportunity to coach them and see them every day. Maybe a better coach, better father, better husband, a better man. And they've certainly impacted my life. I've had a lot of teams, y'all, in 37 years. This one's really special, really special. For the things they've achieved, the accomplishments, the growth, how they've gotten better, each and every one of them. These three seniors, Lauren came with me when we recruited her. These two I inherited, and these two couldn't be more of a fit for how I want to play the game and how I want our team and our program represented with what they do. They are absolutely incredible young women, and they're going to be so successful in life. I'm just really honored to have had the opportunity to coach them and see them every day for 2 years. I mean, you can coach a long time, y'all, but these two, every day I knew what I was getting from them, as with these two. This is probably our rock of our team up here, as far as every day what you were going to get, every game. And we had a conversation, us three, not Rory, but we had a conversation back, I think when we were 5-5, about, hey, we weren't going to have a chance to win unless these three really played well every night, and that they needed to really kind of embrace that. And then we talked about our team embracing the fact that, you know what, it just gets old when every time somebody beats you, it's like somebody won the national championship. So we better figure out real quick, you're getting everybody's best shot, and you better get ready. You better learn to embrace that. And we did. These kids did. So I'm awfully proud of them. Again, congratulations to Stanford. They made just a couple more plays than we did. And again, we wish them the best of luck. But this team right here, I'll go play them right now. We'll go line up and play them again, because I think this team is just as good as anybody that's going to end up north in a few days. So I'm awfully proud of them.
Excellent. With that, we'll open up for questions for our student athletes in the room. If you can acknowledge just what specific student athlete you'd like to direct the question to. We'll start in the front. We can get a mic up here.
Question for Rory and Audrey. Can I just get your overall reaction to the end of your season and today's results?
Not happy with the way things ended. Obviously, you want to go out on a dub with your on your last game, but there can only be one winner at the end of the day. And couldn't be more proud of these girls. This has been one of the most fun teams, one of the most competitive teams. I wouldn't have wanted to go out with anyone else, wouldn't have wanted to step on the court with any other people than them. And I just want to thank all of them. I want to thank the university, and it's been fun. It's been good.
Yeah, just to add on to what Audrey said, I mean, this is just such a fun group of girls to be playing with, and honestly, the emotional part for me, yes, was losing the basketball game, but it was also just for the seniors, because this year has been they have been on top of everything since day one, and I respect them, and I speak so highly about them. Any person that asks about them, I speak so highly about them, and they just kept our team together. And of course we didn't win this one today, but it almost does feel like a win, because I'm still here with them, and I know that they're here with me. So.
Good.
Lindsay Schnell with USA Today for Rory and Joanne. Stanford went to a zone late in the third quarter, and it seemed to really fluster your team. I don't think they played any zone in November. Correct me if I'm wrong. How did that impact your offense, and were you surprised that they did that?
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily surprised. We were taking them off the bounce a couple times, and they were fouling, and so they were having trouble guarding us one-on-one. So, good teams adjust at the end of the day, and they made an adjustment and went to zone. And we just didn't make enough plays in the zone at the time, but credit to them, for making an adjustment on what we were bringing to the table. So, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I think it was a pretty good job that we got them to adjust. That just means that we did what we were supposed to do, and we executed the plan. I mean, that's all I have to say.
Go ahead.
Michelle Smith, Pac12.com. Lauren, this is for you. How difficult was it inside today? Brink finished with 6 blocks. They're very long. How difficult was it to get things rolling inside?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the whole team is huge. So our inside game, I wasn't a presence, and I take full responsibility for that. But yeah, it's physical. It's physical down there. Each shot is not going to be easy. It's really hard, and these guards, I don't think they understand the full depths of how hard it is to work down there. But yeah, I mean, credit to them for their goodness gracious, yes, natural gift of their size, and I mean, they just really out tough me personally inside.
We'll take a question on Zoom. Ben Parker, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give this to Jamie. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on, you saw this team earlier before in the year. How is this matchup different from the first time you saw them in terms of how do you think Stanford's different, and how do you feel your team is also different from that first meeting?
Ben, can you just clarify who's that question for again?
Oh, Jamie. Though any player can take it, but Jamie, that was my thought. Joanne, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Coach, I'll direct the question to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same team we played. They're better. We're better. I thought watching them on Friday, they looked really good. They obviously they're a machine offensively if you let them get the wheel turning. But they were, that's how we approached them back in November. So, I mean, it's the same personnel. Obviously, they're 4 months further along and together, and their chemistry is better. But, we've held them now to 56 and 59 points. If we would have scored 61 like we did the first time, we'd have won again today. So I think, again, it's both teams were better. We hit a little dry spell. When they went to the zone, we went 1 for 4 in possessions scoring. And that wasn't just, that's not the end all, but, our kids were, I thought, played so hard. We forced 20 turnovers. I think we forced 20 turnovers back in November. And so, you just took them to 37%, 17 from three. I mean, you can't ask any more from a team than what our kids did defensively. You're talking about some free throw. We missed 9 free throws. We missed some open shots. I mean, it's just part of it. But that was a hell of a game out there between two great teams. So I don't think there's a lot of difference between either team. Like I said, I think if we had to go back out there and tip it up, it'd probably be another 4-point game with 2 to go.
Question in the front here, back in the room.
Question for both Rory and then Joe or Audrey, if you want to take this. Rory, I know the wounds are still fresh, but where do you guys go from here? And then Joe and Audrey, where do you see this program going from here, whether or not you're here next season or not?
We learned so much this year. Like, we had our ups and downs. We all know we had a little drought at the beginning of the season, and then we had a little back-to-back loss with Baylor. But I've learned so much with this team and playing underneath Coach Shafer and his coaching staff. And us freshmen we're sitting there listening to his post-game talk in the locker room, and we're kind of like, well, this is only the first year, and we went so far. This team is so great, and we did so many great things. We can't really be upset about it. Yes, we're upset about the loss, but how we play and how we played this whole season, that really defines who we are as a team and as a university. And so I'm pretty upset about this one, but I'm ready for more.
I just want to say just how blessed I am to have played here and to play with these girls, because you just don't grind every single day with your teammates. You don't grind with your friends. You grind with your family every single day. And I am who I am today because I put on this jersey for 4 years. And I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you because I'm so blessed. Even in defeat, I'm so blessed.
Rory, could you talk a little bit about, you had 14 points, but it took 18 shots. Did their length bother you? There were times that you hit some really nice pull-ups in their face, basically. But then there were other times where it just felt like they altered your shot just enough. How did you feel they did defensively, and what were they doing that bothered you?
It was pretty tough. I am 5'6". They are probably 6 foot and above. So every shot I take against them is going to be contested and a pretty tough shot. I can't make all my shots. So that's my answer to your question.
We're out of time for our student athletes. Thank you for your time. You can be excused. We'll continue on now with questions for Coach Shafer. Again, we'll start with questions in the room for Coach Shafer and then move to Zoom, time permitting. So questions in the room for Coach Shafer. We'll start here.
Vic, Brink was spectacular for one stretch that you pointed out that you went 1 of 4. It was a Brink block, a Hannah jump block, Brink block, Brink steal. How good was she? How much has she improved since November?
Well, yeah, I think, I think when you have that size, I've had that size before, and, you got that, I call them an aircraft carrier, when you've got that person in the lane that is your forgiveness player, and that's what she is. She's their forgiveness player. If we got by a guard, you've got 6'6" sitting in there waiting on you, and she's gotten, obviously she's a very talented, skilled basketball player. She's real smart, and so I think she's much better and much improved. She's learning to be physical, and so again, I just think when you have that person back there, it just kind of changes your team, lets you really do some things, and like I said, I've had that before, and it really allows your team to really play aggressive, and I call them your forgiveness player, So, she's really good, really, really special. She inside pivoted us a couple of times to start the second half, made some, about 8-footers, which we don't need to let her do that. But, again, I think you see her play, you see how competitive she is, and, again, real smart. She knows, she's real aware. She's got a really good awareness about her of what's going on and when she needs to help and when she doesn't.
Go in the front.
Vic, were you disappointed that y'all weren't really able to get it going down in the paint, especially considering the way Lauren and Aaliyah had been playing these past few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple looks early. I thought we had some really good looks early, and because there was a certain lineup that we were going to really look at trying to get after them down there. And, I thought we got some looks early down there. We couldn't make a shot. And, at some point, you got to stop beating your head in the wall. And when they went zone, we were feeding Lauren, and Lauren's been great all year, letting us play through her. And she was just trying to make a play. She's trying to make something happen. And, we just, they're big down there. And so finally, when I called timeout, I said, hey, we need to play through you, not to you. We got to play through you. And she understands that. She was really just trying to do her job because she's been our most improved player during the stretch. And really, has given us an inside game and an inside presence. So,
Go ahead.
Vic, somebody online said this felt like a chess match, and when Tara went to the zone, did that surprise you?
Not really. I mean, when you're going to go against a coach like that, I was prepared for it. We went right to our bread and butter zone offense, and I felt like if we did what I thought we could do in man, I felt like at some point they were going to jump into that, and we needed to be prepared for it. And I know we took a couple of bad shots in it, and again, I attribute that to kids just trying to make plays. But it's not something that, look, we've been seeing a lot of zone. Utah jumped in a zone. I think we made like 3 or 4 straight shots. I mean, 4 straight. And then they said, well, we can't do that either. And, the lead went from like 18 to 26. So it's something that I've been down the street before, so I was kind of ready for it. And like I said, we went to our bread and butter offense. It just, we didn't quite get what we wanted.
Vic, you've played him twice, and obviously you play in a really tough league. Is that the best team in the country?
I mean, I haven't played, UConn, Louisville, and whoever else is out there. I mean, it's not really I'm not really qualified to answer that because I haven't played everybody else. I can tell you this. You come live in the Big 12, you play 18 rival games like I do, there ain't nothing could get you ready for this tournament more than what we went through. We played 18 rival games, then we go play 3 back-to-back-to-back within 40 hours. Our style, win a Big 12 tournament championship. You can't be more ready for this tournament. You can't be more battle-tested than our kids. Are they good? Absolutely. They're really good. Are they the defending champions with everybody but one player back? Yes, they are. We've gone toe-to-toe with them twice. And, we'll see. They're going to have an opportunity to play 1 or 2 more games. And when if they're left standing, I think that answers the question. You can't go off of what somebody thinks or writes on some blog about reseeding the tournament. And that it is what it is. That's just an opinion. You come live in my shoes. You play my schedule, play the teams I've played. Then we can talk about who we think's the best team in the country. But they're really good, no question about it. You let them do what they want to do, they'll hang 70, 80 points on you. I think you got to give our kids credit because they didn't let them do what they wanted to do. They really played their guts out today, and they played the way we wanted to play it. We just couldn't score enough points. But they're really good.
Question in the back.
Kevin Pelton, ESPN.com. You've kind of referenced that point in the fourth quarter, 2-point game, anybody's game. How confident were you feeling at that point, and how big was Hull's 3-point play?
Well, I mean, we're right where we want it to be. I mean, it's a game where we feel like when it's tight, when it's close like that, the longer it goes and the closer it is, the tighter it might get on the other end. And our kids have really embraced those moments this year. They've functioned in those games and in those moments more than not. And I think that we had a couple of really good looks, and again, I thought we had some things happen that we can't control, and then the 3-point play gets it to 5, but again, I think we missed some shots we've been making, and then we went empty at the free throw line, And that, it's when you're going to play in these games, y'all, you got to make free throws. And we've done that until today and maybe a couple times here lately. Our free throw shooting early and middle of the season was horrendous. And then when you go back and you look at our last 5, our last 10, we were shooting an unbelievable number at the free throw line. So a little surprising today that we did, but I will say this, you have to, we had a freshman that went 0 for 4. Again, she's not been to the line much. We had some others that went 1 for 4 and those kinds of things, and it just happens. I mean, it's not like they're trying to do that. It's part of it, and it's part of the game. And if we could have made a couple of free throws, now it's not a 2-point game. It's even. It's tied. So it was a big play. There's no doubt about it.
We'll jump on Zoom for a question. Terry Middleton, go ahead.
Coach, this is Terry Middleton from Horns Illustrated. First, thank you for a season of amazing basketball. So with your 3 seniors, Joanne, Audrey, and Lauren, moving on next season, there are young girls who were watching them this whole season. What advice would you have for them now that they might have dreams of playing for the University of Texas?
Well, I think if anybody's watched us play and watched our kids play, and specifically if you want to talk about those seniors, I mean, again, I said this in my opening statement, they play the game the right way. They honor the game, they respect the game, they play very, very hard. And I think anybody that brings their kids to our games at the University of Texas, they know we don't run to the locker room. We stand out there, we sign autographs, we take pictures with everybody until everybody's done. And I think if you're looking for a role model or somebody to mirror your game after, those are kids that are really good to do that with, whether it's your son or your daughter. When you come to the University of Texas and watch a women's basketball game, when you walk out of that arena, you can look at him or her and say, you know what, I want you to play like Audrey Warren. I want you to be tough like Joanne Allen Taylor. Play hard on both ends of the floor, defend, just all those things. I think those are the things that we as parents, we want our kids to have role models like that, people to emulate like that. And I think these kids are all, they're those kind of kids.
We have time for one last question. We'll take on Zoom here. Ben Parker, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Coach. First of all, congratulations on the season you guys had. I wanted to say that. Secondly, I noticed you held Stanford to 3 of 17 shooting from 3-point range. Anything you were doing well defensively to force them to not have the kind of 3-point success that they were used to having?
Yeah, we guarded them. We were standing real close to them. And it just, you can go down the list of everybody that, whatever their percentage is, but, if you're going to play horse with Stanford or Iowa State or anybody like that, you're going to lose the horse game. And so you've got to try to, for us, if you've watched us play at all, we try to make you really uncomfortable. We're not gonna let you run your pretty offense. You're gonna have to create something and do something that maybe you don't want to do. And I think for us, we have tremendous respect for their perimeter game and their perimeter players. And I think they went 4 for 27 in the first time we played them, and then they went 3 for 17 tonight. And I think tonight we did a better job because, number one, they got 10 less off, but number two, we're pretty, we're out there, like we're going to guard you out there. And when you do finally get an open look, sometimes you're in such a rush because you can't believe you're open because you hadn't been open in 2 days. You rush it and and then you miss it. So our kids really, that's how we want to play. We've had great success for the most part, most of the year against teams that have those great shooters. We've gotten better. Again, this is a team, y'all, that 9 new players, 1 returning starter. So our chemistry has been evolving throughout the whole season. And I think what you see right now in the final team, the final game today, is something that takes so much time. Your defensive chemistry is the last thing that you get. It's the last piece to the puzzle. And sometimes you don't get it. But, you know, most of my teams figure out a way and they get it because they understand the importance of it. And, you know, for us defending the three-point line, to answer your question, it's really important when you're going against teams like a Stanford who can stand out there and make shots. And we talk about it all the time. The good teams, you're going to lose the horse game. Like, if you're going to play horse against somebody, you're going to lose. So, you know, we got to do some things to take that away. And then when they put it on the deck and drive it, you got to be over there and take a ticket and get a charge. And, you know, our kids are pretty good at that too. So it's a special team, y'all. Defensively, you know, they're really good, obviously. They got a chance to win the national championship again. And this team's gone out and held them to 59 and 56 points, 30-something% shooting, 4 for 27, 3 for whatever today, 17, and just battled. So, again, really proud of my team, proud of our season, and I'm so excited about our future and what we have coming and what we have coming back. And our future couldn't be brighter.
We're out of time. We're going to take one last quick question here, and then we'll wrap up.
I don't have a date, so I know there might be somebody else, but
Vic, going off that, what you just said, 2 years in, where do you see this program at? Are you happy with the trajectory that you got and the strides you've made in these last 2 years?
Well, I mean, Danny, you probably know better than me. You know what it was like before I got here. And, you know, the accomplishments that last year's team had, you know, beating 2 top 10s back-to-back in the Sweet 16 and then getting to the Elite 8 again, the second round and then the Sweet 16. Again, with only one and we can call Audrey a half a starter. And so, you know, with that many new players in the mix and so few back, look, you know, I think this elite run's a little different. We were supposed to be here this year in my mind. We're playing good. We're one of the best 8 teams in the country. I don't think there's any doubt about it. So are we supposed to be here in year 2? I don't know. I don't think that way. I just know that they hired me to do a job. I'm trying to keep a job. You know, I'm trying to get us where we want to be at the University of Texas, where we're supposed to be. And that's where I'm at. And again, I've said this to you before, it's a miserable way to live. I have no desire to be good, none. But that's the way it is. And this team, the accomplishments that it made this year with again, so many new players, man, I am so proud of this group. I'd have to go back and look at some teams and realize how much they've achieved. So I'm really proud of where we are. I am not happy that we lost today. I think we should have won the game. But I'm awfully proud of these kids. It ain't their fault. I'll wear the responsibility. It's my job to get them home. We had a 4-point game with, I don't know how much time, or a 2-point game with, I don't know, was it 2:37 or something? I didn't look, but that's my job to get them home. That's why I'm the head coach, and I didn't get them home today. But man, I'm proud of them, and you know, I think maybe your question might be for an administrator. They might know better than me, but I'm awfully proud of where we are today, and again, I'm proud to be the coach at the University of Texas.
Coach Shafer, thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Praise the Lord and hook 'em horns. Thank y'all. Appreciate everybody being here and your coverage of women's basketball. It means a great deal to our sport and to both those teams today, so thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you. Safe travels.